So away we go then, the second international at Athletic Park between the World 15 and the All Blacks. And it's loose ball inside the 22. Pressure on Far Jones. Oh, he got it away quickly. It was a forward pass too. Early mistake made by Nick Far Jones.
What the All Blacks got to concentrate today is their individual discipline. Just try and cut down the errors that they made in Christchurch and put the pressure back on the World 15.
So first scrum of the game, Ian McGeechan on the far right there, Bob Templeton and Brian Lahore, the management team for this World 15. So a handy scrum first up for the All Blacks. Penne comes away, gets it away from Strawn. Best pass north, Naas border easily. Now Strawn up for Fitzpatrick. Good start for the All Blacks. 5 metres short of the line. Now Strawn, Little. Just 2 metres short, the All Blacks onto the ball now. Here's a Ronnie Clark. Ball retention is what the All Blacks have been practicing all week, and they seem to have hung on to this one as Lowe channels it back. Little held by Botha. Strawn gets it on to John Timu. Good run by Timu. Stayed on his feet too. The All Blacks, a bit of continuity in their play already this afternoon. 15 metres out, directly in front of the goalposts. Top start here by the All Blacks. Just crunching it up the middle here. Larson in there, number 5. Good sequence here by the All Blacks. They seem to have it under control. They're just 6 or 7 metres short of the line now. Finally have gone to ground. And rightly the crowd gives them a good ovation.
Well, tremendous start there from the New Zealand forwards. The priority is obviously to get the ball across the advantage line as quick as they can. We've seen the players standing off close and running at it. Great break by number 8 Aaron Penne to start the game off.
Now look for some sort of set move here. Will the All Blacks use the blind side? Penne, yes they are. Strawn pops it up. Side, Greg Cooper scores the try.
Look for little Ant Strawn here. Number 8 to Ant Strawn. He goes through a lovely little pop pass. Greg Cooper at last hit the ball at pace, sheer power, sheer speed, straight in under the bin. Good opening start. And I tell you what, this bloke getting 4 points so early in a test match will do this team a wonderful lot of confidence.
Well, the first 2 or 3 scrums from New Zealand, we've seen them not fire the ball back. They're concentrating on getting the ball across the advantage line, and that's how the try came. It never went deep at all. It just short and wide, and that gave Greg Cooper the gap to go through. Great start for New Zealand.
Team talking halfway. Meantime, Greg Cooper is going to attempt to convert his own try. What a super try it was too. I almost detected a smile on Laurie Mains's face there.
Don't see them often, do you?
Yes, he's nailed it. So the perfect start for Laurie Mains's All Blacks. Greg Cooper scores the try and converts it 6 points to 0. Let's go down to the sideline. Keith Quinn is down there. What a start.
2 minutes and 25 seconds on the exact seconds. What a marvellous thing for Greg Cooper. I was reading a profile about him recently. You know, one stage when he was 15 years of age, he had an 8% chance of living after cancer. He's had ups and downs in his life, being pricked in the All Blacks and then dropped. And what a marvellous thing for him to come back after all those adversities that were in his life and to get through for the first try and kick the goal. Great stuff.
So here he is, Greg Cooper. All Blacks 6 points up after 4 minutes in the game. And this is the first time the World 15 have been in the All Black half. Playing with the breeze, the southerly breeze, or the wind, at least the sun, obviously distracted them there, or there was a lack of communication. And the All Blacks have an immediate advantage.
For one, they'll probably have to understand the World 15 having a little bit of lack of communication with so many changes in their side today.
So Nick Farr-Jones comes back into the World 15 side today. He was in considerable doubt when he came across the Tasman. He had an ankle injury, but it's been cleared. It'll be Richard Lowe on this side of the scrum against Federico Mendes. And Dave Bishop doesn't want any nonsense in this game. So quickly across to Botha. Good solid tackle by Henderson. They went back 10 metres though, the All Blacks. So Farr-Jones will go again. Grabbed by McDowell. Now Mendes up to the 22 in All Black territory. Now Farr-Jones sets the backs alight for the first time. Gascon has a run. Flicks it across to Yoshida. Can't give this guy too much room. He's very, very quick indeed. And it's tidied up by Frank Bunce.
Well, I don't think I've ever seen Naas Botha pass the ball the first time he's ever touched it in a test match, but you know, you give these World 15 an inch and they'll take a mile.
Naas Botha was here 11 years ago when the Springboks beat the All Blacks. He scored 20 points out of 24 that day, so he has fond memories of Athletic Park. Olivia Rumart down in front of the run-up, tapped on the All Black side, Little running it across field. Good run by Walter Little. He had to hang on there. He could hardly let the pass go. Now Strawn goes in after it, and onto the left boot of Greg Cooper.
And Strawn's had a good start to the match, getting in there quickly and giving good service out to Walter Little. He's a quick, sharp wee halfback, something that was lacking last Saturday.
That's what these new All Blacks have to do, particularly Anne Strawn at the scrum half base. They have to get involved in this test match, otherwise I'll just see time will just go past in 40 minutes, we're all over.
Willie Schmidt of South Africa, the hooker today for the World 15. The All Blacks lead by 6 points to 0, 6 minutes into this game. Dave Bishop wants the ball thrown in quickly. Boy, he did go quickly too. Ian Jones. Line out win for him. Little forced onto his left boot, cleared it nicely. Well, Walter Little's made a most satisfactory start here, Stu.
He's a very classy player, you know, a guy that can play in a test match at centre one day and then 3 or 4 days later he's at first 5'8", sign of a good player. I just hope that we see his skills.
Larson against Rumart at the front of the line-out. All Blacks winning them, but that's untidy. Strawn getting worked over there. You can see him on the ground, number 9. Looks like the All Blacks have done well. They've got it back. Henderson stood in the halfback. Now Little goes on a bit of a run. Oh, dear me, there was a boot in there. He's off. He's off. Olivia Rumart, he put the boot in, and he's off. Centenary celebrations or no, he's off, and fair enough.
Yes, good decision there from Dave Bishop. He saw it all the way. It was right out in the open. There's no need for that sort of thing. Unfortunate it happens, spur of the moment stuff, but watch him now. Number 5 stands back and goes in with the boot. Uncalled for.
Well, it's sad that he's had to go, but you all saw the boot go in, I'm sure, and it simply cannot be condoned.
Well, it started with some fairly heavy rucking on Anne Strawn, who was trying his best to roll clear, but I mean, that's part of the game. I don't believe that anyone says no to a couple of tickles over the back, but a deliberate boot like this, as you'll see in the replay, there's no need for that at all. That's instantly off.
So the World 15 have lost Olivia Rumart. Dave Bishop is just trying to settle the whole situation down here. I tell you what, there wasn't too many arguments there. Rumart was a little surprised, but the rest of his teammates didn't seem as though they were too surprised at the decision.
All credit to Dave Bishop. He handled it quickly and made the right decision. It's finished with, he said.
Well, it's not a Sunday school picnic. It's a test match of rugby, and the World 15 have lost a key player. So 6 points to 0. Let's get back to the footy, Stu.
Well, Dave Bishop has got to get in there and tell these guys that they're here to play rugby. We're in a centenary year of the New Zealand rugby, and since incidents like that are sad, they're part of the game, obviously, but the less we see of them, the better.
Willie Schmidt to throw. Lovely take by John Eales. Much of the line-out work is going to fall on the big Australian now. World 15 in possession, just on their own side of halfway, or are they? In fact, they aren't. Taken away by Jamie Joseph, getting his hands on the ball for the first time. Now Little bunts. Little has it again, just on the World 15 side. And finally taken by André Joubert. Another good darting run by Walter Little.
Spun out of it, ran away from it.
Well, Keith Quinn on the sideline. Controversy in the first 5 minutes.
We've very rarely seen players get sent off in test matches here, Grant. I think we saw one, David Cody, get sent off in Rotorua, remember, in 87, but I don't think there's been one involving a test with the All Blacks in this country before. But it was the right decision from where I saw it. He just had to go.
Here's a kick from Little. Here's Sheila, took it down. All Blacks looking for a quick one here. Fitzpatrick. And once again, a little bit of feeling in there. Nick Farr-Jones was involved.
Hey, Grant, I just wonder what the French newspapers will make of Dave Bishop sending off a Frenchman out here. Remember that England-France World Cup quarter-final?
Oh, boy, there's one city in France he can't go to already, isn't
That's right. Might be banned from the whole country.
That's right. So the All Blacks have played most of the rugby so far in the game. 10 minutes gone, 6-0. Down the back to Henderson. Into the arms of Joseph, 5 metres out from the line. All Blacks holding it up. Skillfully keeping it off the ground here. Very close to the line, the All Blacks. Almost there. Can they get it down now? There's the goal. It's Richard Lowe on the bottom of that, I think. Yes, it is. Big Richard Lowe from Rakino. His third test try. And the All Blacks lead by 10-0.
Yes, we saw Richard Lowe try to do it in Lancaster Park, but he's done it here this afternoon. The rolling maul, they held on to it. They knew they had the power on. It was just a matter of when it was going to come. See Richard Lowe in the middle there, still got his hands on the ball. They're getting out the offending players, they're working it, and then it's just a matter of going to the ground and scoring the try. Tons of commitment, tons of power, and another 4 points for New Zealand.
Loves scoring those tries, Richard Lowe. We've seen some marvellous moments in television with Richard Lowe smiling as he's come up. He didn't smile that time, but he's got his third test try. And Cooper has converted.
I like the build-up here for this try. As though Walter Little did very well. He ran into the 22 of the World 15. In the second set of phase, he's put a little chip kick in, which John Timmy put pressure on. And it started from that the line out on the World 15's goal line. And this is good, simple, disciplined play by the All Blacks.
So some real work now for the World 15. They're down by 2 converted tries to nil already, 12-0. Tries for the All Blacks scored by Cooper and Lowe. And Cooper has converted both of those, 12 points to nil. And it's, as they say in cricket, a run a minute.
Nice prediction before the game at 32-26, looking very healthy at the moment.
Yeah, except where's the 26 going to come from? Taken in by Joseph. The All Blacks playing with a real purpose here this afternoon. They've worked at 5 metres downfield. Larson didn't like being held on to. Mark Sessi on number 8 there for the world side. This is good, solid stuff. I'm not so sure that in a month or so Wayne Graham will be able to see this sort of rugby. I think it's been taken out of the game.
Yes, we'll play to the rules at the moment anyway. It's good forward power, isn't it? Plenty of strength in there. Of course, the World 15 one player short now.
Now it's coming for Straw. Little kick in for Tuigamana. Joubert the fullback. Well, the big crowd at Anthony Park's loving this. There's André Joubert. All Blacks playing quickly. Straight across to Ronnie Clark. He makes it to the 22-metre line. He set it nicely again. Henderson standing off for the All Blacks. Oh, he got through it easily beat Naas Botha, who hasn't made a tackle yet. That took him out. This is just a black tide sweeping over the World 15.
Good simple rugby here. All Blacks good driving, giving the ball back when the ball is going forward, allowing our guys to run off like Paul Henderson, bringing Vainga off the blind side. Simple, disciplined rugby. All the pressure is on the World 15 at the moment.
Well, that tells a tale, doesn't it? There's a fresh vitality in this New Zealand side. Pene goes off the back. Pops it! Performance from the All Blacks. Aaron Pene gets his first test try.
Well, there's been none more impressive so far in the game as the big Otago number 8, Aaron Pene. The strength of the man, you just watch him come off the back here, bounces off the first defender and gets straight through to the goal line. He's been strong from every scrum this afternoon, having a tremendous start to the match.
The All Blacks set themselves up for a set move here, but the scrum didn't quite work out that well. And Pene, all he had to do was just take it on, take it up, found the gap, busted through a couple of tackles and over.
Brendan Naas will soon learn that he'll have to go a lot lower on Aaron Pene if he's going to knock him over. Very strong in the legs.
The thing about Aaron Pene, I reckon he looks like Buck Shelford. The headband, the black band on the outside, and bursting off number 8 like that, he looked a bit like W. Shelford.
He did too. Great start by Jamie Joseph. And a nice little kick again by Straw. The kick incidentally was successful from Greg Cooper. All Blacks making a pace. Now Little. Aaron Clark. All his guts up there. All Blacks doing it very, very well at the moment. Tui Kamala has a go. Over the top to Little. Right to Little. Ian Jones ranging across the field again. The All Blacks are enjoying this, and why wouldn't they be?
Well, it's definitely going to answer a few critics, isn't it? I must admit, I can't believe the transformation in the two teams.
The team they picked, Wayne, is the thing that's getting them there. We've got ball players at the scrum half and in midfield.
Early Schmidt. Well, a penalty being given against the All Blacks. That's almost an anticlimax. I think it's the first one against the All Blacks. Ian McGeek and Bob Templeton can't believe it. 18 points to 0 down their side. And only 16 minutes gone. Cooper lets it bounce and it's out. What a kick. André Joubert comes to Athletic Park with a marvellous reputation, this fella from the Orange Free State. And that kick was from, remember, inside the 22. The wind isn't that significant. This match coming to you live on One World of Sport from Athletic Park, Wellington, New Zealand. The All Blacks lead the World 15 by 18 points to 0. Line-out win for the world side. Far Jones back into the heavy traffic. Now Schmidt. Session. Now the World 15 mounting a challenge at last. Far Jones wants it. Now Botha. Spilled forward by Claassens. Well, maybe it's a complete turnaround today. Maybe it's going to be the World 15 who can't hang on to the ball. As Strawn takes it away and safely clears for touch.
Lance Strawn there showing a complete range of skills that time, finding touch with his left foot. He's a natural right footer, and a good start by particularly the 4 new caps in the All Black side today.
What's it? We might get there.
So the two-man line-up now called by the World 15. Far Jones has called it. Session and Eels is a marvellous line-out performer. Now Botha, misunderstanding there with Apollo Perolini, and the All Blacks onto it like a shot now. Little Clark. Timu gets a nasty bounce, gets away from his shooter.
Good discipline there by the All Blacks. John Tingley under a bit of pressure, just decided to take the ball in and take the tackle and then to get spun over the side. They're obviously concentrating on their discipline of retaining the ball.
19 minutes gone in the first half. 18 points to nil. The All Blacks lead. Strawn runs straight into number 3, Ewan McKenzie. The big Australian tight end prop, but the All Blacks have managed to retain it by the looks of things. DDA Canberra looking on there. Now Little. Well, Walter Little is New Zealand's third, first 5/8 in 3 test matches. Remember, John Preston played against Scotland at Cardiff Arms Park. Then we had Grant Fox last Saturday. Blair Larson, part of the 2-man line-out. Ian Jones, the other New Zealand representative, against Eels. Larson gets it. Now there it is for Strawn. Lovely little pass across to Little. Clark's looking strong. Lovely pass to Bunce. Terry Gallagher gets a chance. Henderson after the loose ball. Paul Henderson at his best. 15 metres on the world 15 side of halfway. And they dived it over the top to the world team. I don't think Tim Horan wants to look.
Beautiful run there by Ronnie Clark. He cut inside, in and out, linked up with his out with Frank Bunce with a nice little one-handed pass around the back of the opposition. Oh, this kid is showing all his skills. I mean, he's a very talented player. And maybe today we're going to just see some guys with some class.
This is the first big hit by Apollo Perolini. What's this? There. A bit high, wasn't it?
Yeah, Paul Henderson hasn't... it was taking a while to get up, actually. There he is now. But aren't the loose forwards going well, Wayne?
Very, very strong loose forward performance. Of course, the All Blacks are going forward today. It makes it a lot easier, but they're attributing to that. They've got so much power off the back. Got another option to their play, haven't they?
6-8, 3-1, 6 sweet, 3 earn.
So the line out down in Bernie's corner.
Need I have nightmares about this point.
Bernie Fraser, All Black and Wellington winger, had that corner named after him as Botha clears.
I said all his tries up too, I'd like to add.
That's right, Stu.
ALPO.
18 points to nil, the All Blacks lead. Sensational start from them. Earl Curtin can only be happy. After Greg Cooper, Richard Lowe and Aaron Penne scored the tries. Here's Joseph. He's made a strong start too. Just look at the speed with which the All Blacks get there. Now Sean Fitzpatrick. Straight through Fitzpatrick. 18 metres out from the line. Now Strawn's got it. Up for Ronnie Clark. Look at the power of Ronnie Clark. Well, he's a hard man to put down. They've really grasped the opportunity, these guys.
Well, they're doing the simple things right, aren't they? That's the shortest way to the advantage line is straight up the middle, and every player on that All Black side just wants to go for it.
Aaron Penne, try scorer already. Ian Jones jumping off the shoulder that time. Dave Bishop picked it up immediately. Well, in the last couple of years, we've seen some fantastic battles between Ian Jones and John Eales. Joubert, that's a lovely kick off his left boot by André Joubert. Well, we haven't seen these fellows in an attacking position really yet.
Remember that the World 15 are down to 7 forwards, so we should have an advantage with our thrown lineouts, and in the scrum, of course, an advantage in there too. So we should actually get more position today.
This match coming to you live on One World of Sport. 18 points to the lovely lead by Joseph. Here's Clark. Straight up the middle again, Ronnie Clark. Now the All Blacks lined out on the blind side. Cooper is in. Quick hands. Joseph again. Strawn takes it out again. Here we go. Clark. Really hitting it up very strongly. Strawn pops it up for Tuigamana. Overlap here. Bounce to Timu. Takes it back in towards the forwards, John Timu. All Blacks missing Greg Cooper at the moment. He's being attended to as Tuigamala has a go. Away the clock. Here on the clock.
Well, this is just reward to Aroni Clark. He's looked very hungry today. He's gone looking for the ball. He's popping up everywhere. He's hitting the passes hard, running hard. And Strawn again fires away. All Blacks are actually short of Greg Cooper. We needed him. He was actually injured down on halfway. Brushed aside the winger twice and goes in nice and low. Good try.
One thing that stood out to me in the first half has been the reluctance of the South Africans to make tackles. Look at Claassens here and then go on and watch Hendriks there trying to bring down Aroni Clark. They like to go high and they're not getting the tackles. And of course these big boys are going over for the tries.
Couldn't agree more from down on the sideline. Often the All Blacks are running straight at Naas Botha, and he does not want to tackle at all. And actually back at fullback, Joubert is not a strong tackler. So we might ask the questions about the South Africans' defence in this game, because when they dashed in for the try there, when Clark ran in for the try, certainly Hendriks and Claassens didn't want to know.
Well, he's just so proud to be an All Black, Aroni Clark, having spoken to him yesterday. And he's made a fantastic start. So have, in fact, the whole All Black side. With the new boys on the block. So Greg Cooper now with his most difficult conversion attempt. And this time it's not there. So Aroni Clark's try, which would have been appreciated by the oldest living All Black, I'm sure, Jock Richardson, sitting there with one of the greats, Colin Meads. And what a marvellous start by the All Blacks. 22 points to 0. 25 minutes gone. Joseph calls for it. Bit of a wild tap, but Strawn makes his first mistakes. Referee playing advantage here. McKenzie, number 3, takes it on for the world side. Just the 7 forwards, remember. Now Far Jones. Away to Botha. Now Guscott. Oh, Tuigamala! That's another one for the All Blacks. Points to 0. And that's the 5th try the All Blacks have scored in 26 minutes.
Well, the Wellington team have a little bit of pressure here. They're desperate to move the ball around. Wild pass by Jeremy Guscott. I think he reads it pretty well, but I tell you what, this boat's a long way to put it down underneath the bin. But he's too quick, and he looked for his opportunity. You know, you've got to give that. It's desperate stuff by the Wellington team, and it didn't pay the price. They paid the price.
Tuigamala looking left and right. Between the post he goes, converted by Cooper. 28 points to 0. And the mind goes back to Grant Batty, way back in 1977, Wayne.
There's totally different characters, aren't they, on the rugby field? But what a tremendous try for Tuigamala. Running all 60 yards, I suppose.
28 points to 0. I think nobody came into the ground late or switched the tally on late. They've missed plenty. Far Jones right past the water. And Clark just couldn't quite recover and knocked it on. Well, this must seem like an absolute nightmare for Nick Far Jones and his team. Laurie Jones, I think, is ringing home, isn't he?
Is that his cell phone or his dictaphone? I can't work it out. He might be ringing Dawn back into Deaton and saying, we've got some real good news for you, Dawn.
Well, 70% possession. And that's reflected on the scoreboard. 28 points to 0.
Just hope that the All Blacks keep playing the simple game, keep the discipline nice and good, and don't loosen up, because they could actually bury the hatchet to these guys today.
Well, I just can't believe the contrast in the two games, the one we saw on Saturday and this one.
Far Jones takes it quickly. They'll get another 10 metres out of this. Good play by Nick Far Jones. Flicks it over the top for Ewan McKenzie. Apollo Ferrellini taken down by his opposite number, Paul Henderson. Now Botha. for Joubert. Now Yoshida gets around. What a great chase by Ian Jones. Here's a running play. Storm takes it away. They're keeping it alive, the All Blacks. Now Frank Bunce. Flipped it away to Joubert. Now the World 15 can make something of this. Little kick through for Hendriks. Tuigamala back in defence. And who's got it? Tuigamala. And he'll have to put it. No, he wanted to put it down. Leads it away to Cooper. Eels tries to keep it in. He has. 10 metres up from the All Black line. There's going to be some pretty tired fellas after this phase ends. Now Guscott. Across for Yoshida.
Great striker.
Fantastic try, scored by Yoshito Yoshida, the Japanese winger.
That'll make a few people back in Japan very, very happy. Imagine coming to Athletic Park and scoring a try like that. Botha bangs it out to Guscott. Guscott's taken in a huge tackle by Frank Bunce, but he put a very good kick under the sticks, and Yoshida dives and scores.
Well, it all started before this play where they scored. Nice skills there by Jeremy Guscott, under a bit of pressure from Frank Bunce, puts a nice chip in, but it all resulted with two bad errors by the All Blacks prior to this try. One was when Aroni Clark fired a wild pass on the right-hand side, and two, when Greg Cooper, this is a beautiful little chip kick here, and Yoshida, oh, that's class. And of course, Greg Cooper had the ability to kick the ball out and failed to find touch. Now that's a simple rugby just started to loosen up.
Naas Botha converted. Paul Henderson has left the field. So the All Blacks may well be looking for a replacement for Paul Henderson. So Paul Henderson leaving the field. Richard Turner will be his replacement. We'll get an update on the injury shortly, hopefully, on Paul Henderson. So the restart is made. It's 28 points to 6. Keith Quinn, this is a game of highlights.
It sure is, Grant. I've never seen a try like that of Yoshida before. I've been coming to this ground for a long, long time. I've never seen anything like it. A catch and dive on the full. It's truly unique.
So Richard Turner is there. You can see number 21. He's replaced Paul Henderson. And we'll try and check out the injury to Henderson. Joseph is doing a marvellous job at the back of the line out for the All Blacks. Flicked across to Little. Bunce is getting plenty of room to move. Held on Frank Bunce. Turner tried to get with him, and the ball spilled forward.
The South Africans do not like tackling. That was 13, Claassens. He just really helped him on his way. That was a poor effort for a guy aspiring to be an international player.
Well, I think we've just about labelled the whole four South Africans now who haven't been keen on tackling, Stu.
Well, you know, I just hope that they keep the standard of tackling up when the boys visit them later on in the year.
Absolutely. Here's Joubert. Inside his 22, little kick again for Yoshida. Welcome to Mnet in South Africa watching this game. Channel 10 Australia, NHK Japan, Entendeur France, and Star Vision throughout the whole of Asia. So a huge audience for this game, and Richard Turner, who's just come onto the field, has received an injury already. Well, I wonder what's going through the mind of Nick Farr-Jones as we look at Paul Henderson. Looks like a calf muscle injury. He's had his problems with injuries over the years, Paul Henderson.
That might mean Dallas Seymour might have to come in for the game in Auckland if they're going to have an open side flanker ground, because he's in the squad, but Jones is out, and if Henderson's out for any length of time, it's good luck to Dallas Seymour.
Yes, absolutely. This match coming to you live on One World of Sport from Athletic Park in Wellington. And what a lovely day it is too, and what a performance by the All Blacks so far. 28 points to 6 they lead, 8 minutes till half time, and Turner's recovered to win the line out. And we understand the injury to Paul Henderson is a recurrence of an injury he received at the All Black trials, which was a tear to a calf muscle. And so that's bad luck for Paul Henderson. He really was playing well, wasn't he?
Very, very quick to the loose ball, Paul Henderson.
So now Farr-Jones away to Botha, pumping it away downfield. Cooper, plenty of time here, Greg Cooper. There's no real pressure on him, but he took it well all the same.
Well, it was Greg Cooper. He kicked that ball out when Inga fed him on his own goal line, and the All Blacks would have probably still be leading 28-0 instead of 28-6. But the All Blacks for the next 5 minutes to see this half out must look at their individual discipline. Just keep the game very simple.
Schmidt, the South African, to throw. Looking for big John Eales. Early tackle by Far Jones, I would have thought there. Referee playing advantage. Now Strawn, who's made a super start to his All Black career. Not such a good kick from Walter Little down to André Joubert. Puts it onto the left boot, but that's not much top either. Down to Tuigamala, who looked as though he was troubled a bit by the sun there. Now Tuigamala gets a bit of steam up. Get out on the road, he says. 12 metres on the All Black side of halfway. All Blacks haven't got a halfback at the moment. Oh, Ian Jones, he's the biggest halfback in the world. Away it goes for Ronnie Clark. All Blacks with that real bulk in midfield today. Ronnie Clark and Frank Bunce. And it's an All Black put into the scrum.
What the All Blacks were doing so well at the start of the game was retaining possession and getting to the ball carrier. They're just starting to fire it away a wee bit, and that's letting the World 15 come back into the game. They've got to do the basics right.
Richard Turner's gone onto the back of the scrum. You can see Aaron Penne's gone onto the side. Turner struggles a couple of metres downfield. Now Strawn. Jamie Joseph, the man penalised there. Far Jones is going to take it quickly. No point kicking penalty goals. Mendes, the big prop forward, gave it away to McKenzie, who was able to recover 20 metres out from the All Black line. 28 points to 6. Far Jones feeds the backs again. Botha. Claassens, Gascott. Yoshida. Well taken by Frank Bunce. Clark is in after this one. Good sign that. The All Blacks hungry for the ball. Now Timu. Good tackle made by John Eales. But the All Blacks again retaining possession. That is one of the big improvements from Christchurch the other day. Here's drawn blindside. Takes on Joubert. Lovely pass to Strawn. Little. Dave Bishop gets pushed over the line. No try. The referee obliged to come back. With Walter Little was in possession, he pushed the referee out of the road. There was no advantage there to the World 15 side. That was bad luck. I think the All Blacks probably would have scored anyway.
Well, these things happen in rugby. Referees sometimes do get in the way, and even a class referee like Dave Bishop. Lovely run by John Tierney, but see how he still held onto the ball. Anstorm follows up on nice little overhead pass by Anstorm, and that's happened. He's just got to play a scrum. All Black ball.
So the All Blacks get another chance here. Turner takes it off the back. Strawn pops it up for Timu. Not much room there for John Timu, but look at the loose balls get there. Jamie Joseph, first man there. Making a mighty start, these young fellas. And it's a scrum 10 metres out from the line. Well, this really feels like the start of a new era now.
Yes, they're doing very well.
Trapped in the back by Turner. Just a 7-man scrum, remember, the World 15. So they'll be battling to hold the All Blacks. And it can only get tougher as the game goes on.
Well, unfortunately for the World 15, there's another 40 minutes to play. It's Pieter Fairloaf. He's probably thinking this is a good one to sit out.
That's right. Strawn feeds again. Away now for Little. Bunce. Gave it away to Claassens. But it's been recovered by Tuigamala. The All Blacks are hungry for the ball. They went after it and claimed it. Aaron Penne. Strawn again. Tuigamala. Offside. Offside against the world side. Well, it's a test match, and Sean Fitzpatrick's going to play it like a test match. He's going to get Greg Cooper to come up and kick for goal.
Well, I've been very impressed with the new boys. I think Ant Strawn's had an exceptional game at halfback. He's really added some spark to the back line, and of course the two dare I say it, the Otago loose forwards, Jamie Joseph and Aaron Penne. I think that they've had excellent first halves, very, very strong on attack. They've held on to the ball, something that didn't happen at Christchurch. We've retained possession. I think it's been an excellent start from the new players.
Couldn't agree more fully with you, Wayne, even though you did mention those two Otago boys.
The thing about it is that it's a whole new look and play, isn't it? Because not only are the new players on the field, there's not a lot of tactical kicking. Now let's not knock Grant Fox, because that would be wrong. But there's no little tactical dinks being put in. It's all a new look completely.
Greg Cooper then from a handy position. Oh, he's missed it. Well, I'll have to confess that I wrote that down on my little scorecard here, Stu, 31-6, but I'll have to delete those 3 points.
Keep it at 28-6, I think.
So the quick restart taken by the world side down to Cooper, feeding Timu, who's getting more involved in play. Cross to Walter Little, who's been all over the park. What an elusive player he is, Walter Little. Aaron Penne was first man there to scoop up the loose ball. Now they set it again. Ronnie Clark. Tremendous power from the Aucklander, Ronnie Clark. Now Strawn up to Fitzpatrick. Holding his feet well, Sean Fitzpatrick. Right in centre field. All Blacks lead by 28-6, looking to make it more. Blair Larson! What a marvellous moment for big Blair Larson. Crashes over near the post just on half-time. It's 32-6.
Well, for his debut, you saw here Sean Fitzpatrick's trying to stay on his feet as long as he can. In went the boys with the drive. Ball came back on the ground. Whitlow just ferreting in there as he's got in. Blair Larson said, hey, look, I'm the next runner. Give me the ball. I'll show you how to do it. Smashes through a couple of tackles. Big 6'5", 6'6", over he goes. Fantastic.
Greg Cooper from very handy position. Six tries in the first half to the All Blacks. 36-6 after 40 minutes of play. A sensational 40 minutes. We'll be back after this break. One World of Sport welcomes you back to Athletic Park in Wellington. It was all the All Blacks in the first half. 34-6 as Naas Botha gets us underway. The All Blacks have the light southerly breeze behind them in the second spell. And we get an early look at Neutzer, the South African, who's come onto the field to replace, I think, Jeremy Guscott, who left at half-time. Here's Steve McDowell pumping it up to the All Blacks. Well, it was such a comprehensive performance in the first 40 minutes. It's one wonders whether the All Blacks can repeat it in the second half. Oh, Joubert's missed it. Here comes Terry Miller. He's going to have to hurry, and he does hurry. Olivia Rumart sitting there. He spent 5 minutes on the field, then was sent off by referee Dave Bishop for blatant kicking. So 34-6. What can you expect in the second half, Stu Wilson, from this All Black side?
Well, I'd like to see controlled 40 minutes of rugby, playing everything nice and simple, and basically to double the score, because this is the time when the knife should be sharpened. It's in the back at the moment. Let's go and twist and turn it.
Good hard-nosed All Black stuff, Wayne Graham.
2-1.
Yes, I like the analogy to the knife. But no, they've got to settle it down and start again now, the All Blacks.
Bar Jones across to Botha. Pumping it up was Jannie Claassens, the South African. We saw nothing of the World 15 backs in the first half. Here's a good run coming up from Joubert. Through goes Joubert. Looking for Yoshida. And he knocked it on. Ewan McKenzie goes on, but the knock-on was made by the Japanese winger. But that was a much better start by the World 15 backs. Little Yoshihito Yoshida, who scored that quite brilliant try, the only one for the World 15 in the first half.
Yes, very difficult to follow the act of the first half for the Blacks. They've got to settle it right down and start again. The temptation is to try and carry on where you left off, and of course that doesn't happen.
Defensive scrum for the All Blacks. They've had very few of those in the game so far. And nicely cleared by Ad Strawn.
Well, I think Ant Storms had an absolute stormer today, and you notice that covering tackle made on one of the World 15 players, was Ant Strawn, right across from the cover. Just everything done well today.
Larson and Jones there for the All Blacks. Eels taps it on the World 15 side. Penne trying to get through. Apollo Perolini, the Western Samoan. Now far Jones. Away to Claassens again. Noitzi, the new man on the field. He got past the tackle of Bunce. Back into Claassens. Penne trying to rip it away. Still going though is Jannie Claassens. He set it up nicely. Now far Jones. Pops it up for Botha. Big line up here. Joubert. Kicked ahead again by Noitzi. The ball bouncing close to the line. Eels. And John Eels scores. Well, something must have been said to this world side at half-time, because they've come out fired up. And John Eels gets the first try.
It's a fairly mullicky play, not a very good pass here by Naas Botha to put the ball behind his players. This chip kick, I think, was a little bit of desperation. That was a desperation kick, and it just floated across the bin, and John Eels taking the fat man's track up the middle. Easy try.
Here we see the new man Nurture. He's come on already and caused a few problems for the All Blacks, but it was an opportunist try. Chip through there, and John Eels coming up the middle, scores by the post.
Much better start, Keith Quinn, of the second half.
Yes, it is. They've made quite a strong impression early on. This guy gets a lot of tries though, because he is a big, long strider, isn't he? And he took it well. Nice to see the South Africans running well in the second half. We mustn't come down too hard on them. Their defence was pretty awful in the first half, but players like Joubert here and Nurtzer coming on at half-time, they've looked good since they've been on the field here in the second half.
Now Greg Cooper with a big kick downfield. Naas Botha's under it. Feeding Far Jones, looking to run it out, but then changing his mind, Nick Far Jones. And banging it across the touchline. Well, he's another player who will have fond memories of Athletic Park, leading the Australians to victory here a couple of years ago.
AJ.
Nick Far Jones.
AJ Pieter.
So it's 34 points to 12. What was your prediction, Stu? 32-26, wasn't it?
Looking pretty good at the moment.
Sean Fitzpatrick. Jamie Joseph's done a marvellous job at the back of the lineup for the All Blacks. He's totally dominated that end zone. Fitzpatrick releases. Now Little. Clark straight through. 10 metres out, Clark goes to ground. Penne was first man there. Now Joseph. Try line is looming, and just as the ball emerges, the referee blows the whistle.
Well, Rooney Clark, every time he's had the ball in hand, he's a wonderful runner. He's a balanced runner. He can come off left and right feet, and with Little, Bunce and Clark in that midfield, it's causing all sorts of problems for the World 15.
Well, there could be some long All Black careers set up in this game. Turner up to Strong. That's another new boy on the score sheet.
So another 5.
Ant Strawn gets his first test try, 38 points to 12.
Well, it was the same move that was pulled in the first half. One of the early tries, the number 8 going against the play. Ant Strawn, the gap was there and just over for the line. The All Blacks that time had lined their back line out to the left, creating the dummy, and the number 8 just slips around the side. The shortest way to the goal line is straight ahead. Ant Strawn, try.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would expect this from any good, hard All Black back. Everyone lined up out left. They're only popping scrumming against 7 World 15 players. They gave him a little bit of a shunt. It makes it a lot easier for the All Black number 8 to feed Ant Strawn. Good try, must take it, but I would expect any scrummer on that goal line will be exactly the same.
Try converted by Greg Cooper, so Ant Strawn is on the try list. Graham Basham looks on. Wonder what's going through his mind as Ant Strawn rampages round Athletic Park. Aaron Penne, as Botha gets us started again. 40 points to 12, 6 minutes gone in the second half. Number 7 for the world side is Apollo Perolini. The battle of 7 against 8 with Olivia Rumat off the park. No room through there for Pieter Hendriks. Look at this from the All Black forwards. Session. Now Botha. Big line up here. Joubert. Yoshida. Confronted by Cooper, who went high and knocked on. Well, they had a real chance there out on the far wing. But once again, it's the hands that let them down. This was the problem the All Blacks had last Saturday. Turner off the back, Strawn. Timu gets a run. And deliberately tapped down by Ferrellini. He would probably argue that his options weren't great there. Injury here to Brendan Nasser, the Australian flanker. And so a chance for a little bit of deep breathing.
Actually, Brendan Nasser got his hand stomped on rather badly at the previous ruck. It was a bit naughty, actually. This is the attention he's getting. It was a bit of rough justice. His hand was sticking out the side of the ruck. And one of the All Blacks, I'd name him if I knew who it was, but I didn't see him. But he stomped all over the hand of Jamie Joseph. Of Brendan Nasser.
So the kick is down to Naas Botha. All Blacks looking for a quick throw, but let's have a look here. Well, I think we can tell there. Here we are, number 6, Jamie Joseph, wasn't it?
Jamie Joseph, yeah.
Unnecessary.
PLJO.
Eight minutes gone in the second half. 40 points to 12 Strawn. Another marvellous pass. Not such a good kick this time from Little. Bunce did well to get it back, but the All Blacks were within the 10-metre circle, thus they were offside. And so Bar Jones has opted for the kick, which he takes quickly. Away from Willie Schmidt. Now, we haven't seen him run with the ball yet. He comes to Athletic Park with a reputation as being a good runner. Ferrellini with a little kick and chase. Tuigamala tries to Notza. Kicks it ahead. Joseph has it, and Strawn clears.
I think the All Blacks machine has just tapered off a little bit over the last 3 or 4 minutes. They just need to regroup, get back to the very simple basics of rugby, of winning good hard ball and moving it through the back line. And I think probably with 40-odd points up on the board, probably think, oh, we'll just last out the next 30 minutes and get into the shower.
Ewan McKenzie at the front of the line, and over the back it goes, bouncing towards Far Jones. Taken away by Jannie Claassens. Far Jones has got quickly back into position now. Botha. Cooper waits for the bounce and sneaks away nicely, Greg Cooper. Just out from his own 22. Aaron Penne there again. The All Black loose forwards have really travelled around the park today. Joubert looking for it in the sun. Just on his own side of halfway, André Joubert. Tuigamala has Hendriks sneaking up behind him. And good defensive work by Pieter Hendriks. Well, Earl Curtin has left the confines of the grandstand and gone to his favourite viewing position.
3-5.
Down at the end of the ground.
4-4. Thank. Cut for the cut. Black 5. Give him a go.
One World of Sport, live from Athletic Park in Wellington as Far Jones, the World 15, getting more ball in the early stages of the second half. Joubert, Bunce misses the tackle. Joubert, there's Cooper. This is a long run for Greg Cooper. Hendriks is closing. Super try by Greg Cooper.
Heavy breathing hard.
That's an awful long way to run.
Well, have a look at this. I mean, I thought it was a bit unlucky by the World 15. I mean, really, if that chip kick had gone over Greg's head, it would have been a try to the World 15. He took it on his 22. It is a hang of a long way to go to the other end. The South African 110-metre hurdle sprint champion nailed him into the corner. Little sidestep. A great try.
And this is the guy a few years ago they said couldn't run, he had no speed. This is an amazing run, isn't it? He's proving all the critics wrong. Oh, ye of little faith.
He really had to throw out the anchors there, didn't he?
Yes, I don't think it's that far on Carisbrook, Keith, but he made it there. Hendriks closed in very quickly from the opposite wing. We watched him come across from this side of the field. He was truly motoring, but Cooper just had too much gas.
Well, we might have to look for the record book shortly. Greg Cooper's got 20 points so far. He's going to try and make it 22. He scored a couple of tries, remember, the first one.
26 is our best in a test, 1 by 1 G Fox.
That's right. Not this time for Greg Cooper. Paul Henderson watching on. Remember, he left the field injured just before half-time. But he'll be cheered, no doubt, by the look of that scoreboard. 44 points to 12. And 13 minutes gone in the second half. Naas Botha, All Blacks looking into the sun. Misjudged it, but Jones got it. Now Little bangs it away downfield with the southerly breeze behind him. Joubert just out from his own 22. Sure, they'd like to open it up here, but it really wasn't the time. Gets it. 15 out from the 22. The All Blacks set it again. Away goes Fitzpatrick. Now Timu. Finding it hard to put him down, and it was knocked on by one of the All Blacks. Well, I don't know who got the biggest fright, the big crowd or Richard Lowe.
Paul Lowe, right in the breadbasket, wasn't it? He couldn't have hit it straight to him, or more straight to him if he tried. Right in the stomach. All his Christmases had come at once with the field wide open.
Not a great sidestep from the big man, though, was there, really? Just the prop sidestep, just the big barge up the middle.
More of a swerve, really, wasn't it?
Stomach swerve.
Well, they're breathing pretty heavily down there, Keith Quinn, as we see an injury break to one of the All Black players.
Yeah, one of the advantages of being in the sideline ground is you have a chat with Earl Curtin as he changes ends at half-time. And Kate Parsons said to me he was really pleased with the way it was going, and he indicated that one of the things he was really most delighted about with the player Walter Little was his backing up. There's Earl with his scarf, of course, looking pretty pleased with himself. And he said that not only is Walter playing well, but he's backing up around the outside, which is adding a little dimension to New Zealand back play, which we haven't seen recently.
So the scrum just in from the 22-metre line. 14 minutes gone in the second half, and it's 44 points to 12 to the All Blacks. Unbelievably, they've scored 8 tries in this game.
Come on. XJ. CD.
Yes, Walter Little's definitely had a tremendous game there. He exercised an extra loose forward in that back line, getting there, claiming the loose ball, setting it up, continuing movements on.
Well, he has played, of course, for North Harbour at first 5/8 over quite a long period of time. Good work by the All Black forwards again. McDowell made the initial catch, flicked it on, and the All Blacks have it under control again. Just out from the 22 in the bright sunshine here at Athletic Park. Aaron Penne went in to join the action. Now they start to move it forward. McDowell. Brute strength from Steve McDowell. They're inside the 22 now. And they'll get the foot into the next scrum. Well, I'm sure this fellow, Tim Horan, will be back for the 3rd Test match in Auckland on Saturday. What a fabulous player he is too. So another golden opportunity here for the All Blacks. Turner burrows through a couple of metres. Now Strawn, Little, Tuigamala. Beautiful score. What a magnificent try.
Ball play at its best.
Fantastic sleight of hand here by the All Black backs.
Have watched Walter Little. Cut out pass, cut out 2 men, The loop around, the quick hands, gave Aroni Clark some space outside, and that's a lovely try. That shows that these guys are not only great runners, but all the ball skills. Lovely little pass here from Walter Little.
Almost impossible to stop this back play with the skip pass and then the double round, and the extra man out on the wing really caught the defence napping. Great try, Aroni Clark.
Second try for Aroni Clark. 9 tries in the match for the All Blacks. 48 points to 12 they lead. And Cooper's going to try and bring up the half century. And boy, aren't they loving it out there. No, he's away to the right this time, Greg Cooper. Well, I guess not everything can go right.
Grant, just looking at the record books here, this is not a bad way to celebrate 100 years of the rugby union on this great ground, Athletic Park. It's the highest score the All Blacks have ever rattled up in a test match. The previous best was 46 they got against Argentina in the World Cup in '87.
Taken in by Joseph. So we've got 18 minutes gone in the second half, still 22 minutes to go in this game. And the All Blacks simply haven't let up since half-time. They let it the break, and here's John Eales. Big chase here for Little. Oh, good tackle, Walter Little. And John Eales has gone down. Well, what a marvellous chase and tackle by Walter Little.
Yes, extra loose forward, Botha. Eales scampered out of the back of the All Black ruck with the ball, and Walter set eyes on him and chased him and nailed him in the corner.
It astounds me how John Eales came out of a drive situation which New Zealand had the ball, had the drive on, and he pops out the other side and nearly scores.
Bob Templeton is a little concerned. Remember that Olivia Roumans is off the field. We may well have Troy Coker coming on shortly. I'll tell you what, guys, I'm not looking forward to try and work out who the Joubert's most valuable player might be in this game.
Probably someone from down south, I'd say, Nisbo.
Eales fell very heavily there on his shoulders, and that I think that will be the proper chest or shoulder. He fell very, very heavily. Yes, shoulder.
Well, that is a big blow for the world side, not only for the world side, but for Australia, because John Eales is a key player. And Bob Templeton is very concerned. Blair Larson has risen to get the line-out win for the All Blacks. Yoshida hits it in pace. What a good run now, Session. Chance here for the World 15. They've only scored 2 tries in the game so far, remember. Session hanging on. He's taken it to ground, and Dave Bishop has to blow the whistle. Penalty there, the All Blacks took it down. So Player Jones takes it quickly, frees it across to Illy Schmidt. He's got it back nicely. Penalty against Turner. Richard Turner was offside. Here they go again. Now Session, and he's going to get through, and Mark Session has finally converted all that pressure into points. As John Eales leaves the field, has one last glance across to find that Mark Session has scored a try, and it's 48 now to 16.
It's fine reward for the World 15. They've been pushing the line once or twice, haven't been able to get through, but there we see the big number 8 from France, Session, going over in the tackle once again. Number 10, Walter Little.
Botha converts. It's 48 points to 18 now.
It was a bit sad for the World 15 having lost both their locks now in the game. But this is a good try, and well deserved for the World 15. They really haven't had that many opportunities. Some slack, I think, some pretty slack play by the All Blacks. I think they should have, Richard Turner should have tried to claim that ball from an offside position, just as he saw there. The All Blacks should be more disciplined like this. They should rely and have confidence in their defence to knock these guys over.
Halfway through the second half, as we have another look here, and it was just a straight run-in for Session. Little did his best to hang on, but the big number 8 forward powered his way through for the 3rd try. So it's 48 points to 18 as we pick up play live again. Timu handing it nicely across to Cooper. Jamie Joseph barreled there. 3 Otago boys involved. Ian McGeechan looks on. He's lost his 2 starting lock forwards today. Olivia Rumark sent off by Dave Bishop for kicking. Now John Eales has left the field. Troy Coker is there now. Willie O looks on from the sideline again. Schmidt runs it up, runs into a solid tackle from Turner. Now Far Jones, Joubert. Little kick ahead by Joubert. Joubert gets it back and almost makes it to the line. And Little clears for touch. And he's certainly come into his own in the second half, André Joubert.
Well, you know, they've decided to have a look at these All Blacks, and they're looking at 48 points up on the board against them. They've got nothing to do except launch attack. The ball they get from their 4-packs, they must launch attacks. And I think the All Black team has just gone off the ball a little bit. They just need to tighten up and get down to do the basics back once again.
What's the number?
12 tries scored in the match this afternoon. Ian Jones wins the line-out. And Ed Strawn, who's hardly put a foot wrong all day, clears again.
That ball was off the top from that line-out, Grant, and Ant Strawn cleared it with his left boot.
Well, it's not as bad as it was earlier when it was about 80 to 20, but the All Blacks still having a marvellous lead in the possession stake, 62 to 38. Bearing in mind, of course, that the World 15 have been down to 7 forwards since about 10 minutes into the game. Jannie Claassens, the South African number 13, that's the 10-metre line in All Black territory. Far Jones clears up for Botha. Thinks about going through the gap. Kicked ahead by Hendriks. Now the chase is on. Strawn leading for the All Blacks, and he gets there. It'll be a 5-metre scrum, though. And now Ed Strawn has gone down. Well, this will be a sad ending to a Test debut, if in fact it was a serious injury. Looks like a knee problem.
We see the pace of Hendriks coming through, chasing the ball. Ant Strawn did very, very well to get back in defence and save that from being a certain try. Hendriks falling on top of him there and doing a bit of damage to the knee.
Great defensive work by Ant Strawn. And he won the race there with Pieter Hendriks, but just twisted the knee awkwardly. So Graham Basham might get a run in the last 15 minutes of the game.
One of the strengths of Strawn's play and Little's play is their tackling and backing up and loose forward type play around the fringes. It's been a big advantage to the All Black team this afternoon. They're both very strong players from defensive situations.
Blindside move here, Far Jones pops it up, Joubert, Hendriks, and Hendriks scores. That was a victory for determination. Pieter Hendriks forced his way across through 2 or 3 All Black tackles, and it's 48 to 22 now.
Once again, the blindside move here. We see Naas feeding it to Far Jones, extra man. Joubert coming in. Hendriks, what's the strength of him staying on his feet? Little missed him that time. Long arm try.
We had enough guys here on defence, but I'm surprised that the World 15's scrum is holding up with only 7 men in there. Nice little move using 4 guys on the short side. He cut inside. I think Richard Turner will be a little bit disappointed with this effort. Ant Strawn not quite getting there in time. That's a good try.
Real determination by Pieter Hendriks. He scored two tries, remember, in Christchurch the other day. And there we are, Turner. Little's gone past. Strawn comes to lend a hand, but Hendriks scores a very good try. It wasn't converted. It's 48 to 22 now. Cooper kicks down into the sunny part of the ground. Joubert Looks for Parr Jones. Through the gap goes Nick Parr Jones. Few gaps starting to open up now. Yoshida. Joseph lines him up. Still going, Yoshida. Ran it back into Troy Coker, the new man on the field. Parr Jones has to clear it. Away for Schmidt. Bit too dangerous in there for Dave Bishop, and he's got to put down the scrum.
All Blacks have got to be careful here. The World 15, there's still 15 minutes to go. They're starting to launch attack after attack and coming back into the game.
A few thoughts from Keith Quinn on the sideline.
Yeah, I agree. It's certainly Nick Parr Jones is they're trying very hard. Their instinct is obviously to play to win, but they've been the line-out time. They're cleverly using shortened line-outs to eliminate the loss of the man being sent off. I think they're going quite well at this point of the game, even though the scoreboard says the other.
Oh, Yoshida came through. He knocked it on, or did he? Yes, referee playing advantage. Well, he made a big impression at the World Cup, Yoshida, as we have a look at André Joubert. And so we may well have another replacement player to come onto the field.
André Joubert over there, obviously with probably a damaged cartilage to that knee of his. The World 15 are down to 13 players against 15. Now, surely our guys can do something here.
There's no fullback, and Strawn's kicked it for touch. Well, Gavin Hastings will come onto the field. By the looks of things, Joubert is not going to return.
2000!
So now it's Coker against Jones. Ewan McKenzie, number 3, kept in well by Schmidt. 15 metres out from the 22, and it's cleared away now for Botha. Standing out there is Apollo Perolini. Well dumped by Frank Bunce that time. Now the All Blacks have it back. Still playing with 13 men, the World 15. There's no fullback, there's just one line of defence, and that's it. Richard Lowe. Now McDowell. Knocked down by Strawn. Play on, says the referee. Strawn goes back, has another shot at it. Now Clark. He saw there was no fullback. That's good tactics. Might have just pushed it a bit too far, Ronnie Clark. And Naas Botha is going to get back, and it'll be a dropout from the 22. Well, I'm surprised that no one else noticed that, Stu.
No, someone no one thinking in there at all. Down to 13 men, no fullback. I would have thought the instant thing would be just to whack it down the field and push Richard back down them.
Big cheer for Gavin Hastings. So the World 15 are in fact now the World 14. Having lost their 15th man very early on in the piece. Now Strawn, held by McKenzie in a solid tackle. Richard Lowe driving off Steve McDowell. Some of the All Blacks mauling today has been quite awesome. Gavin Hastings has snuck onto the blind side. All Blacks lucky to hang on to that. In fact, they did knock it on. If the ball's knocked forward, it has to be recovered by the same player that knocked it on. Well, Walter Little looked to be just struggling a minute or two ago, so Grant Fox may well come onto the field. Walter Little just limping a little. You'll excuse the pun. How about limping a touch, Steve?
That's a bit I stand for that one. I just hope that those people at Africa Park here today, my Wellingtonians, very sad when a certain section of the Africa Park crowd started booing Grant Fox. I mean, great player as he is, maybe struggling for form these days. He has every right to be applauded and never booed. He's a great player.
Yes, indeed. Now Botha across for Gavin Hastings. So Grant Fox is on the field, replacing Walter Little, who joins Paul Henderson on the sideline. Yeah, there we are, an ankle problem for Walter Little. So Fox is on for the last 12 minutes of the game. It's 48 points to 22. A towering leap by Richard Turner. All Blacks in possession on the 22 now. Strawn pops it up. McDowell thumps it ahead. Marvellous show of strength again by big Steve McDowell. And again, it's getting pretty rugged in there. Well, I'd like to think, Stu, there was much more applause than booing when Fox ran on. I think there was, wasn't there?
But there was still some booing, which I think is a very sad state of affairs.
Now Turner back inside to Jamie Joseph. Bit of a sniggle there by Richard Lowe, which was unnecessary. Richard Turner goes ahead, 2 or 3 metres out from the line. Here's Lowe. Two tries today for Richard Lowe, and the All Blacks have won up their half-century.
Better section of play here by the tight forwards and loose forwards combining well here. Driving it on, ball comes back. Lowe comes off the ruck, on the run. Richard Turner initially. He takes it on, that's good driving. Comes back again, nice good ball. And then Lowe just picks up and smashes over with a little help from Stevie McDowell, just running them up the old backside.
So Fox is going to take over the kicking from Greg Cooper. 52 points to 12. Make that 52 points to 22. Anyway. Big cheer for Grant Fox. He converts the try scored by Richard Lowe. 54 to 22.
Richard Turner in his favourite role is driving towards the goal line, sets up the ruck. Richard Lowe in support, watch for him. He says it's my turn to score a try. Head down, there's the line, there it is, try.
Well, everybody's joining in the celebration today. John Kerwin's on the field now. As Uli Schmidt runs it up. Alfar Jones. Perolini. Up to Botha, chance here. Nutzer, Hendriks, and the try scored by Hastings. Tries all over the place. Gavin Hastings gets one.
Well, I've got to get to these World 15 guys. They are not lying down. No sooner do the All Blacks score, and in seconds, there they are. Ball coming back. Good run there by Apollo Perolini. Tried to go through the middle, got held up by a couple of guys. Made it available to Naas Botha. He unloads it on to Nurtzer. Good run here. Good defence by Inga. Just pops it up. Gavin Hastings, thank you very much. I'll score this one.
So Naas Botha from way out on the sideline. No goal from Naas Botha.
Try for the World 15.
54 to 26. And it was just a case of good backing up by Gavin Hastings.
Yes, the South Africans too, Nisbo, look very good on attack. They're good running players, especially that Hendriks. He seems to be able to sniff the tries out. But that was a good backing up from Hastings, just recently on the field, over for the try.
So Grant Fox kicks out. Now John Kerwin is on the field, I mentioned that. And Greg Cooper is off. Good run here by Troy Coker. We've still got 7 minutes to go in this game.
Two guys, okay? Colour ball. Right side, target. Step ready. Good pressure. Standing on that. Back on colour. Down the opposition to ground. Back.
Dave Bishop having trouble getting these front rows back. So let's just summarise who's on the field and who's not. John Kerwin, Grant Fox and Richard Turner have come on for the All Blacks. Early tackle there by one of the All Blacks. Referee says let's carry on though. There have been 15 tries scored in this game today. Now Botha. Well taken by Fox. Big cheer for Grant Fox as he makes the tackle on Naas Botha. Now John Timu. Tiptoeing down the sideline. Tuigamala. Trying to stay in the field and play. Did so. Now there's a runner. Clark. All Blacks driving onto a Ronnie Clark near the 22. And Richard Lowe spilted forward. And he tells Aaron Penne to hold on to it.
Can I tell you what the MVP looks like down here on the sideline, Grant? I'd say any one combination of Little, Clark and Strawn. That'd be my 3 picks.
Yep. Very hard to argue with those 3 names. Troy Coker. Looks like Phil Kearns, in fact, is on as well. It's a bit hard to keep up now. Yoshida fires it back in field. Play on, says the referee. No knock on. Now Hastings. Long one across to Hendriks. Timu makes the tackle. Well, Hendriks, in fact, threw the ball away.
It's a big hit there by John Timu. That's a very, very good tackle.
Very good hit. He really set himself. You can hear the bones cracking down on the sideline. Pieter Hendriks is the best of the South Africans in this game by a long shot, but this is a really big hit. He really threw himself at the man and the ball, knocked it away.
Another man down is Jamie Joseph. Looks like a bit of cramp.
Yes, I think we've got to remember that it's still April. We've got a long way through to the end of the rugby season, and the way that some of these players are going, it will be a long time for the bodies, won't it?
Ladies and gentlemen, the New Zealand Rugby Football Union.
Well, Blair Larson started his test career today, Stu Wilson.
Well, he's done
So
very
did Dan
well.
Strawn, didn't he?
Yeah, both these, all the new caps today have played exceptionally well. I'm just thinking that the pace of the game and 80 minutes of test match rugby is starting to tell on some of our guys.
54 points to 26. Aaron Penne. Away to Strawn. What a game he's had. Now Fox bumps it across field. Kerwin chasing onto it.
I feel a wee bit sorry for the Grant Fox. The New Zealand crowd seem to think that he's got to pass it every time he gets the ball. There he chose the right option and angled to put it in behind the opposition.
Well, John Kerwin's gone back to fullback, I think, the way they've lined out. Or maybe John Timu was there and Kerwin's on the right wing.
Yeah, you got it, Grant. But Kerwin sort of took up a second fullback position there. Maybe he'll come crashing through the centres. That'll be a good move.
Head-high tackle by Richard Lowe, but not deemed to be a dangerous tackle. Mendes tries to take, no, in fact it was Session who knocked it on. And who can blame these guys if the pace starts to slow towards the end, Stu?
Well, you look at the scoreboard, it's 54-26. There has been a lot of tries scored, a lot of running, but I tell you, it's been pretty fizzed up in those 2 forward packs.
You got it wrong, Stu, didn't you? Say 34-26. You nearly got it right.
There's Kerwin showing his strength. Richard Turner goes for a run. Couldn't quite get it back into his following players. Well, John Kerwin had a chance to show his wares there. And so also did Richard Turner. Well, what a turnaround in a matter of, what, 4 or 5 days. Admittedly, it's a different World 15, but the All Blacks were really fizzing at the start.
Well, they set the platform in the first 20 minutes where they got down to some basic hard football, put points on the board, and the World 15 have been just basically playing catch-up football all day.
That man was not deemed to be offside. He was retiring. Oh, a bit of a flick there by Larson. So there's still a bit of feeling in the game. Now Botha. Players to burn here. Hastings in, chased by Fox. Hendriks hacks it on. Plenty of All Blacks here in defence. Sean Fitzpatrick, the captain, getting back. Bit untidy though from the All Blacks. They couldn't quite control the ball there. 20 metres out from the All Black goal line. Well, Sean Fitzpatrick still getting around late in the game.
Yes, 2 minutes to go. I bet some of those players can't wait for those last 2 minutes to tick by. It's getting very loose and scrappy.
Hello, Derek Bevan's got the flag out. He obviously saw something. Reverse pass made. It's gone forward for the All Blacks. Here's Clark again. Now Fox. It's a long way to go. Tuigamala. They could still score though. Claassens had the flag out. I don't know what the incident was. Maybe it was the punch thrown by Blair Larson. I think he had a bit of a flick in there.
Yeah, Blair Larson and Mendes, the Argentinian prop, a little bit of a roll around, like a big bear hug, I thought it was, and I think maybe Mr. Bevan might be a little bit insensitive with only a minute to go to put his flag out. If it was for that incident, there was really nothing. It was quite harmless. But this is a great run by Ronnie Clark. Set up Foxy. Foxy had plenty of black jerseys in support. Decided to go for the long pass to Inga. Didn't quite find him. I think maybe the wrong option there. Should have gone onto the right-hand side. But look at this huge man. Just 1-2. Richard Turner good backing up. And, you know, couldn't find the man. Decides to hold on to the ball. That's what it's all about. John Kerwin gets drilled just short of the goal line. And we've got guys there. Great bit of play. Great rugby.
Well, it was the punch thrown by Blair Larson.
Go.
So we're going way back to the penalty.
That's right back to this.
Time is up on the clock. 54 points to 26. One last throw of the dice for the World 15. Session. Up to Mendes. Nicely set again. Now Botha. Good tackle again. Here's Fox almost in with another chance. Turner. And Botha's going to try and keep it in the field of play. Back to Perolini. He's well barreled. Coming again for Far Jones. Botha. Claassens has had enough. He wants a rest. He's banged it away downfield. And that is the end of the game. 15 tries scored. 10 by the All Blacks, 5 by the World 15. And in a marvellous exhibition of rugby, the All Blacks have beaten the World 15 here at Athletic Park today by 54 points to 26. And when you talk about this game, Stu Wilson, where do you start?
Well, you look at the guys that obviously played their debuts today. Young Blair Larson, I thought, got around the track in the last 10 minutes. He started to fade a little bit. Obviously, the level of test match commitment took his toll. But Ant Strawn, Ronnie Clark, two new more guys in the backs that were playing their debuts, all